Hi there, this is Jeff the Sound Guy again with Sound and Light Technicians. Okay, I'm going to go on the next one, and I've had a few requests from people that wanted to know a little bit about how the aux sends work. Now, the aux send is, like on most boards, it is post EQ. And what that means is that any changes you make to the equalizer is going to change what the equalizer, or what the aux send gets as far as what signal it's getting from this mixer. Alright, so on this particular board we've got aux 1, 2, and 3, which are pre, and pre means pre-fader. I don't have the slide covers on this right now, I was cleaning them. Anyway, so this means it's pre-fader. So that means that your overall gain up here is what is determining how loud this is going to be, how much signal that's going to get. Okay, so it goes from your gain through your EQ to your auxiliary. Okay, so if you're, let's say that this channel here you want to be for your vocals and you want this to be for your front center channel vocal. So you would take your aux 1 and you would turn this up, and then over here on this board there's usually a secondary aux overall volume output, but not all boards have that. This board has a little bit more features than most, so this one does. Now you can set this up so this will be like the front monitor. So for someone who's singing on a stage and they want to hear just themselves in the monitor, and the rest of the band gets a fare for their own. Okay. Now let's say you've got two singers, or you've got two monitors up front and you only have one amplifier to run them. Well, then you can actually take the next one over and you can turn up the aux send. And all the ones on the channel 1 that you turn up are going to start going through that one channel, through aux 1. Now, aux 2, over here, that could be stage left. That could be the drum monitor. That could be stage right. That could be left and right vocalist, and then you could have your instruments. So, let's say you got the two vocalists. They don't want to hear the rest of the band, so you kill the rest of the band. Every band you would turn down. Nothing, 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 nothing. So the vocalists just hear the vocals in the monitor. Now let's say aux 2 then is the band. Well, the band wants to hear the lead singers, so you'll have those up. And the band a lot of times likes to hear what's on the other side of the stage. So you can turn up the guitar and the bass and the violin or whatever you have going. Okay. So you can actually turn these up. So you can mix multiple different mixes in your aux sends. And it's basically on most bars, most nightclubs that you're going to be in, they're not going to have a separate monitor board. You're going to be setting the monitors. One of the biggest killers when you're setting monitors with the auxiliary sends is volume. The more volume you put into these, the more prone you are to getting feedback. If you have a band that is so freaking loud on stage that you have to have all these cranked all the way up, right on the edge of feedback, and everything's blasting and everything else, if you could get the band to point their amplifiers at themselves rather than under their feet at the audience, and you control the actual guitar volume rather than the guitar player controlling his volume, you would get much better sound. The lower you can get the volume on the stage, the better. And I want to say this again. The lower you can get the stage volume, the better your sound will be. The singers are going to be able to hear themselves, which means they need less monitor. The singer monitor, the vocalists, that's the ones that feed back. Acoustic guitar is notorious for it. Harmonica is absolutely atrocious for feeding back. Violin, holy cow. If you've got a mic on a violin, you have to have that so sensitive. If you're on the stage, you better have electronic violin pickup, some kind of mic pickup. So anyway, kind of got off on a tangent there. Alright, so aux 1, aux 2, aux 3, let's say that's the different ones. Now, here on this board here, I have the ability to make this pre or post. And it's actually a thing inside the board I can remove or jumper. So, but this currently is post fader. Okay? So these are post fader, which means after this. So this volume goes up and down, and I turn this volume up, these will actually get louder. And this can actually be a very good benefit. A lot of times I run the effects through aux 6, auxiliary 6, or the last one. And as you push the vocals up, it'll go up. But if you turn them down, it also turns down the send going into the reverb, because the reverb comes back afterwards. And if you turn down the vocalists, here you'll have more reverb coming out in the room. So it's better to have the aux post on reverbs or effects units or anything like that. So anyway, that's a very quick basics of this. I'm not sure if I should do another one of my cool graphics. I will. I have a pen here. Okay, so we have aux 1. Okay, so your aux 1 will go out to your amp. Okay, so aux 1 goes to your amplifier. Okay, and amplifier goes out to your stage monitor. Monitors, how many ever you want. Usually you can only do 4 per leg on a stereo amplifier before you actually overload the amplifier. Okay, now aux 2 can also go to the other side of the amp. Aux 2 goes to your amplifier. Now this channel comes out, and this can go to your drum monitor. It can go to your side fill for the rest of the band and everything else. And again, you can usually, if you got an amplifier that can run 2 ohms, you can get 4 monitors per leg on an amplifier without any problem, really. Do remember that every monitor you hook up, you're actually going to reduce the volume of your other monitors, because amplifiers aren't that efficient. As the impedance goes down, as the more monitors you hook up, it doesn't just double the wattage, it actually only goes up by like 2/3 every time overall. Okay, so basically aux 1 out of there goes into your amplifier. From your amplifier goes down to your monitors. Aux 2 goes into your amplifier, goes into your monitors. If you got aux 3, aux 4, well, you're going to need another amplifier. And you can do that. It's easy enough. There's a lot of amplifiers out there that are pretty inexpensive. And that's it. So hopefully this answers a few questions on aux sends. Alright. I'm going to work on the next video.